y'all, happy Sunday. Today is meal prep day and we just got back from going to the grocery store. We got tons of meat, we got a ton of veggies, we got some poultry, some fish, eggs, almond milk, lots of little things. But what I wanted to do was take you through how I meal prep for the week. I try to do it under an hour, and I'm gonna show you what I do so that hopefully you can also duplicate this system and get your meal prepping down to under an hour as well. The first time it took me about 2 hours because I had to do a little bit extra, but now each week I've got some stuff that's left over from the week before, and right now it only takes me about an hour. So I'm gonna walk you through and let you see what I do. All right, let's get started. Next thing I do is I get a crock pot going. This week we've got a beef roast, and what I've done is I've just come home, I've taken it straight out of the package, I stick it in a crock pot, I poke some holes in the top of it. You can see I've stuck 3 cloves of garlic. I try to stick them down into the meat, and then I get a cap full of liquid smoke, pour it on top, smother it with some Himalayan sea salt, put the lid on, and I put it on go for about 6 to 8 hours on low, and you've got your first meal gone. All right, next I'll either get my potatoes going, or this week it's a spaghetti squash. So if it's sweet potatoes or potatoes, I'll start boiling them on the stovetop. If it's spaghetti squash, I just pierced it a bunch of times. I'm gonna set the oven at 375, and I'm gonna stick it in the oven for 60 minutes. Bam. All right, so we've got some things going on. Next, guess what happens is I start with my eggs. All right, hard-boiled eggs, I always love to have some on hand because they're just easy to grab and go. I usually eat at least 1 per day. I stick it in with my salad. And here I've got my 7 for this week in a pot. They're going on the pan, they're gonna be boiling. Once they start to boil, I will turn the fire down to medium or low and let them cook for about 6 to 7 minutes. I like mine to be fully cooked on the inside.
Let's do like 2 dessert rounds.
After you've got your eggs going, what I like to do next is get some rice going on the stove as well. Rice is super easy. 2 cups of water for 1 cup of rice. Same thing, turn it up on high. Once it starts to boil, turn it down to low. Put a lid on it. 15 to, is it 15 minutes? It's about 15 minutes and you're gonna have rice. So there you go. All right, next thing, after we've got our eggs going, our rice going, we've got potatoes, we've got crock pot dish going, and we have some spaghetti squash. We're gonna start with a salad. So I always have a ton of salad cut up, and I just put it in a bin here. I'm gonna mix it up with some kale, and I also chop up cilantro because it adds additional flavor. I'll chop it up and I'll stick it in here. I'd seal it tight with a lid, and I just stick it in the fridge. All right, after we did the spaghetti squash, what I did was I took 4 chicken breasts and I stuck them on a pan with some butter, salt and pepper, covered them with parchment paper. They're in the oven for 25 minutes at 400. Right after that, on the bottom, I took some salmon and some, oh gosh, I can't remember, like tilapia, or no, it wasn't tilapia, it was cod. And put it in a pan and covered it with some lime, salt, pepper, and covered it with foil. It's going in for about 12 minutes. All right, there you go. And I have those 2. The last thing I'm gonna cook after that is some hamburger patties, and we're done. All right, everybody, we are just about done. I'm gonna flip the camera over here in just a second and show you how I put this whole thing together. My meat is still cooking in the oven, but it's almost done. I'm gonna show you what that looks like once it's done as well. But first, let's get to what this whole thing looks like once you're all said and done. Here we go. Okay, so first we've got breakfast. What I do is I'll put 1 cup of almond milk in a shaker cup with a scoop of egg white protein, 1/3 cup of rolled oats, 1/3 cup of berries. I'll either use, this week I've got blueberries and strawberries. I've already cut all my strawberries up, so they're already all sliced. And then I will add in, a little bit of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. 14 almonds for fat, And there you've got a delicious, really filling, protein rich. It's got your fats, it's got your carbs as well. So for us athletes and also for beginners, this is it's really great to still add in a little bit of carbs. And there you've got breakfast. Okay, so that's what I use every day. I simply love it. I can't wait for it in the morning. It's so delicious. For lunch, this is how we do lunch. Super easy. I've chopped up all of my salad mix for the week. So I've got 2 cups that go into a container. Honestly, usually I use a container that looks like this. If I'm on the go, I'll just stick 2 cups in a container like this. On top of it, I will put, oh, I forgot to bring out my tomatoes, whatever. You put 4 to 5 tomatoes in with your salad. You're gonna add a hard-boiled egg, and then you're gonna add in about 3 to 4 ounces of fish. So my fish is still in the oven cooking, but we're almost done with that. Then you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, mix it with a little bit of water, and that's gonna be your dressing. It's absolutely delicious. As I mentioned before, I like to add cilantro in with my salads because I just think that it makes it taste a lot better. So there you have your lunch. If you want to, sometimes I'll eat on the side. I'll eat some carbs as well. So if I'm feeling like I need some carbs that day, I'll eat. I think this is 3 ounces of potatoes, and this is about a half a cup of green beans. So what I've done last week is I made a bunch of these little baggies and I just stuck them in the freezer. I grab and go if I need them, okay? But I always have these handy. I also have ready-made meals that I have already prepared. So this right here is about 4 ounces of ground beef, again, a half a cup of green beans, and this is 3 ounces of sweet potatoes. So I will make these up as well. I'll stick them in the freezer, and then if I need something to grab and go during the week, if I'm out and about, I'll grab this. Sometimes I'll heat it up before it. I'll just put it in a container, take it with me, and eat it as I'm out. Okay, we also talked about the spaghetti squash. So I made the spaghetti squash. This is 1/2. The other half I cleaned. I took the seeds out, put them up in the freezer. So they're in the freezer probably for next week. So I've got spaghetti squash prepared. I've got beef that's cooking. It's almost ready. And I can make homemade pasta sauce. So here I took 2 cans of organic diced tomatoes. I just opened them up, stuck them in a jar so that I can take out and prepare whatever I need. I'll mix it up with ground beef, and there I've got a nice spaghetti dinner if I want. Moving on, I've got my healthy fats that I always have on hand. We've got almond butter, organic flax oil. This is just great if you need an additional fat to take a tablespoon. Sometimes you can put it in with your eggs or drizzle it on a salad, but honestly, I am not a fan of the flavor, so I just take it like a shot and pretend like nothing happened. You've got your coconut oil here, and we've got MCT oil, okay? So I always have these on hand. These are my healthy fats, as well as, we stated earlier, just regular almonds, okay? So apart from that, I've got a couple of condiments that I love to use. Himalayan pink salt, also liquid aminos, Bragg's liquid aminos. I use this on lots of stuff throughout the week. And lastly, we have, this is also from last week. I chopped up a bunch of veggies. I just went to town on like probably 2 zucchinis, 1 bell pepper, a bunch of carrots and onions, some mushrooms, and I made 3 bags of these. So last week I used 1 bag. This week I'll use another bag. But if I'm, again, just needing to grab something quickly, I'll take 1 cup of this. I'll mix it with make a stir fry, make some, liquid aminos with it, and either add chicken or you can add your fish. I've got pork roast in that crock pot that I can add to it, and I've also got beef that I can add to it. So I've got tons of options. You can also do, ground turkey if you'd like, or any of your meats, but it makes for a really quick meal as well. And then I've got my rice options. I like riced cauliflower, but sometimes I feel like I need, some, a little bit of carbs, and so I'll have this just ready-made, and I'll stick it in the fridge. As well, if you have kids and your kids want to eat some rice, this is great option as well. So I've always got that on hand as well. And that is pretty much what my meal prep looks like for the week. You can also add in for your salad, if you don't like fish, you can do tuna. So that's also really easy. Nowadays they have tuna packets and that you can go get at the store that are made for athletes or pregnant women or just basically general population. Very low in mercury. And make sure that you look for, you know, that type of tuna. But tuna is another great option because you can just grab it and go and pack it in your lunch and head out the door. So that's my meal prep for the week. Thanks for watching, everybody. And it did take me about 2 hours today, I think, because I am making a little bit more this week for the family. We're getting the family involved in a lot of this, and it just, you know, added a little bit more time today. But in general, I feel like, you know, 1 to 2 hours a week in the kitchen, making sure that you've got all this food prepped for your week, it really helps you stay on track. It helps the whole family stay on track. You have sustained energy, and you're not having those hard crashes from eating, you know, just the way that we tend to eat sometimes when we're out and about just grabbing whatever options. So I hope that this video helps you. Please like, comment, or subscribe, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.